Hey guys, welcome to day 3 of the Zero to Hero Challenge. I've got Matt Beard on my right, your left, and I've got Cody Barton on my left, your right. We also have Jesus. His Instagram is Jesus knows. No, we switched it. What is it?
Jesus,
what would Jesus do? What would Jesus do up on Instagram? Anyway, guys, we're going to talk to you about what happened during Zero to Hero day 3, so you know what to expect, and you've got your notepad and you're ready to go if you are indeed going to be watching the live training. Not everybody watching this video has access to those live trainings. So go down below. There's a link. It's called zerotoherorei.com, and you will get access to those recordings. So Matt, Cody, what did we do on day 3?
Oh my gosh, we did so much on day 3.
Yes. Day 3 was pivotal. I feel like.
Pivotal day.
It was the most important
on
day.
day 2, you hired 2 virtual assistants. On day 3, did you actually have them start calling?
Si, senor.
Okay, so that was a pretty pivotal moment of like, oh my gosh, from like, this is why it's called Zero to Hero, guys, is that the people who have, I've been trying to get my first deal for 2 years, people. I've been trying to get into this business for 6 months, people. Were literally shown the process of coming up with Panther Home Solutions on day 1 and then magically creating the leads by day 3.
Yes, and I think the coolest thing is, like, we're working 3 hours a day, but our VAs are working 8.
Yes.
There you go. There's a key factor. So that's why it's so pivotal, is that 1, leads are coming in that quickly. You can go from 0 to lead flow within 3 days.
Right.
Actually, 2 days, really.
Yes.
Really think about it. And then you can also have somebody else working 8 hours a day. So if you are one of the people that, do you remember, actually you remember, before we went into the Zero to Hero Challenge, we had a Saturday Zoom with some of the Subto students. And there was a student that's like, I'm making $150,000 a year as an engineer. And my challenge is I'm so busy at my job 12 hours a day that I don't have time to run my business and generate leads.
Right.
And I said, oh, do we have something? And he sent me a DM that night after day 3. And he was like, I am blown away by the fact that I became an engineer, and in 6 years of college, I learned less about being a business owner than I did in 2 full days of the Zero to Hero Challenge.
That gives me chill bumps.
Holy
That feels
moly.
good.
Holy moly. So
Yeah.
leads are coming in, VAs are cranking. So even though now we as owners are moving on to the next step in our business, that doesn't mean the lead flow has stopped.
Nope.
No.
That's the key thing, right? Because if you don't have leads,
You don't have a business.
you don't have a business. So we wanted to solve that problem from the very beginning. Like, we preach it all the time, and like, we show you guys step by step why it's so important. So it wasn't that a deal just popped up after 8 days. It was the continuous efforts of what started on day 3. You know?
Cody?
100%. And then, one of the things that we did, which was important, is at that point, we didn't have a CRM, obviously, those first couple of days. So we brought on Rob Swanson.
Will you explain to people in the Zero to Hero Challenge? Not right now, but will you be explaining what a CRM actually is in the training?
Yes. Yeah. What it is, what it does, what we did to get it set up. We set up FreedomSoft on there. So
Rob went like crazy into detail of like some customizations that makes ours really cool that everyone in Zero to Hero gets as a part of being a part of it. But like, crazy stuff. He did an amazing job.
So the owner of FreedomSoft came in.
Yes.
This guy owns a private jet. Okay. That's this guy. He came in and gave live training to show people this.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Holy moly. So as people in the live stream, the audience that were watching the live stream, was it complicated for them when they were watching, or was it like, whoa, this is so simple? I didn't get to watch it.
I think the theme for the entire challenge is simplicity, and they got to see it, just how simple it was. And the cool thing is, they don't have to go figure it out. Rob has actually made the customizations based on our business that everyone gets access to.
Interesting thing. This is full of, want to give you full transparency here. I remember when we talked about using FreedomSoft for this challenge because it was
hated it.
Right. Cody specifically was like, it's ugly. Matt didn't want to do it. It's
like it was built in 2001 and never updated.
I don't want to have to figure it out. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
But it was the idea of the collective group of like, let's create a challenge that truly would be authentic to somebody else going through this for their first time. And you guys ended up loving FreedomSoft, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Once we got used to it, it's like you learn something new. You're like resisting,
friction.
Like the friction of figuring it out and like, understanding like in Podio before it's like, I know where the tabs are. I know how to find stuff. And it's just, the relearning of finding where everything is.
Okay. So you got the CRM going.
Yep.
You got him in there. The VAs are now on the calls. They're calling because you pulled lists from batch leads and all that kind of stuff. You show everybody how to actually upload a list.
Yep.
You explain to them why this list was pulled versus another list, because what's the number one question you get from newbies that are like actually taking action? What's the number one question?
What list do I pull?
Who do I call? So that was done.
Yes.
That was very easy. By the time we got off the call with Rob, we already had Batch Dialer set up, which is the dialing system we use for our VAs. And we addressed the list like, guys, it's in a skip trace. They're going to start going. But before they do, we talked about culture on day 2. Then I do some very specific training with them on day 3 that I think is probably one of the biggest values of the entire day.
Definitely.
For sure.
One of the things we got done as well is we got paired with our CSM that day.
What's a CSM?
Do you want to take that, Matt?
Yeah, so our CSM is just at Start Virtual. It's called a Client Success Manager. So for many of people who have never had a VA before, or, hey, I've never cold called, totally cool. Wouldn't recommend doing it. You're not a dentist, right? Don't fix your own teeth. Your CSM is that specialist who manages multiple VAs. So Client Success Manager, their only job is to make sure the VAs are performing and they're implementing the training that you want. So they have 12 to 15 other VAs that they manage. And the coolest thing that happened was our new VAs that we were training that we did on day 3, our CSM was in there, got to watch me do it. So she's like, okay, this is what Matt said. This is how he wants to be done, how it wants to be done. Cool. But then she leveraged the rest of her team. So her 12 to 15 other VAs that are already cranking and producing for other clients, they already have knowledge and expertise that my 2 didn't have. So when they started making calls, the rest of her team were there to help them answer questions and stuff in lifetimes because I didn't have time to do it. I had 3 hours, right?
So when I first got my first virtual assistant and I got into this business, I think I did it the same way that everybody else does it, which is like you go to like onlinejobs.ph or you go to Craigslist or you go whatever, and it's like a total roll of the dice. And I get this really, really sweet girl. She's so sweet. And still to this day, she still tries to con me out of money. She, I'm not exaggerating. I literally just got DM from her and I'll show you. She's like, oh, somebody in my, this is what happened. Within 2 weeks of hiring her, we found out that she was working for 2 other wholesalers and me at the same time. Nice. Okay, this is prior to Cody. And I'm like, when I find out, I go, what the heck? Like, what's going on? I go, you're working for me. How do you have time to work for these other people? She goes, well, Pace, there's 24 hours in a day. That's why I work 8 hours for you, 8 hours for the other guy, and 8 hours for the other guy. That's how I can do 24 hours a day. I'm like, when you take a shit, when you sleep, when you do all that stuff. And I just found out she was not working for me. She was working for me for an hour, charging me for 8. Working with the other guys, working an hour, charging them for 8. Guys, that is so common in the industries that you can't find really good people. Yep. Your CSM, your customer success manager, your client success manager, make sure that your VA, if they're not generating leads, it sounds off an alarm and says, we need to fix this over at Start Virtual, right?
Correct. It's either, hey, we need to focus on, like, let's listen to some calls, see if they're implementing the training, what's going on. And if they're having issues, replace them.
Swap them out.
Replace them,
Swap them out. Okay, cool. So day 3 was obviously pivotal.
Yes.
We got the VAs going. Rob Swanson came in. Batch Dialer got set up.
Yep.
Right? So that the VAs could actually call on a phone system.
Yep.
It looks like Slack. Last thing, Slack?
Yes.
What the hell is Slack?
Team communication. So we like Slack because you can, basically make it easy to communicate with everybody on your team, have each different department and its own individual channel because everybody knows the struggle of...
Well, can I just get like 50,000 group text messages every day to run my business?
Yeah, that's what a lot of people do.
Or what about 200 emails?
Oh,
There's also that. There's like, anyone,
Yes.
understands the pain of like, you're in a group message with people and you're like you're like scrolling up. Where's the message? Then your like iCloud storage is like trying to like download your old messages from like 2
sounds
months
like
ago,
you've had
and
some
like,
experience with this.
Oh yeah. That's why we use Slack.
So you actually show how our team communicates and
Yeah.
and how a lead comes in and flows through, and the team will do all that kind of stuff. So pretty amazing. Day 3 is pretty unbelievably cool. If there's something that people need to be doing right now, it should be pulling out your pen and paper if you have access to the live recordings. If you don't have access to the live recordings, we've already said it. We're going to say it 1,000 more times, because one thing I've learned from Cody in the last couple of months is if you haven't said something 7 times, you haven't said it once. And it's the same thing when you're training your team. You guys are going to see in day 4 and day 5, all the way through day 15, that a lot of this business becomes repetitive. And a lot of this business, and what we're going to talk about in the upcoming videos, there's not that much more magic past, I'd say, day 6, right? At the point of day 6, it's
My opinion, there's magic every day.
well,
but-
it's a different type. It's a different
Yes.
type of magic.
Yes.
The magic is, whoa, it really is this simple.
For sure.
There really is
100%.
nothing that should be holding me back.
Yep.
Right. So guys, pull out a pen and paper. Day 3, as Matt describes it, is pivotal. A lot of people are saying earth-shattering, life-changing, amazing stuff. So if you don't have access to the recordings and you're just watching this on YouTube, go down to the link down below, zerotoherorei.com, to get access to those recordings and watch this business step by step as you take action. Cody, last question. If I have not taken action on day 1, day 2, or even day 3, which is today, should I be moving on to day 4?
No, go back to the beginning and get started. I mean, there's no reason to delay. Just get started.
Guys, we'll see
Actually,
you.
please don't do that.
Yeah, please don't do that, because I actually get on people in the lives, and you guys will see this. I get on people that are not taking action. I also get on people that don't start virtual VAs. They go hire their own VAs. In fact, I just got this guy, David, just DM me on my phone. I'm doing a time lapse right now, guys, so I don't have my phone on me. But David's like, oh, hey, I'm having a problem. Like everything, I got my first deal, but now I'm having a problem with my VA. I go, oh my gosh, have you contacted your CSM? He goes, I didn't hire a VA from Start Virtual. I was like, bro, what are you, why? Guys, this challenge, we rehearse over and over and over. Go hire startvirtual.com VAs. Go to startvirtual.com. Click on the upper right-hand corner. It says hire a VA. Get a discovery call made. If you haven't done that, do that now. Do it now. Put on your notes and say hire a virtual assistant, or in the very least, squad up with somebody else and you guys hire a virtual assistant together if budget is something on your mind. So we'll see you in video number 4.